Hi, it's Friday night Fright-ners, woo! And tonight, guys, we're doing a really special one tonight. We're doing mental health tonight. This is our once a month special. Nick's unfortunately not joining us tonight. I think weather out in America is pretty bad. Just now. So he'll not be joining us. But you speak among yourselves, guys, while sharing.
I will certainly do that.
Cheeky fella.
We haven't got anyone in the chat yet, so
We've actually got two in the chat, you cheeky.
have we? Oh,
I can see two. If you're in the chat, can you just say hi, just so that we know that you're there?
Yay! Hello, Eric.
Yay! It's our Eric. What's up?
Let me just see if I can close this down a little bit. I don't know. Wait a minute.
So tonight we're doing a really special one in mental health. And tonight I really want to promote men's mental health as well, because I think men's mental health is just as important as women. And a lot of men's, find it difficult. I think it's era. I put it down to era. When men have to be men. See, this men has to be men nonsense. Hi, Annette. That should change. The stigma really should change around men have to be men, because at the end of the day, they have feelings as well.
We do.
We do. Yes. And we get upset.
Well, maybe no English. He's just got a swinging brick. Oh, I'm getting punched. Uppercut.
You're getting a toothpick.
Oh, is that? See, if I asked you where that was going, is that a rhetorical question?
Trying to get up.
I'm not bothered. It's Friday
hey,
night.
Nigel, thank you.
Evening.
So, I know for like my own personal experience, because I suffer from emotional unstable personality disorder with bipolar, PTSD, and anxiety. And the worst thing about obviously mental health is it is very stigmatized. I mean, when I first discovered obviously my experience of mental health, I didn't want to tell anybody because I was ashamed, because I was like, what's people got to say about me? But now I'm at the point in life where I really don't give a shit, and I take the piss pure out of, having 27 personalities, and at least one of them is normal.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, we know.
Fuck you, but these men don't have to be men. I cry when something affects me, Eric. Takes a lot to admit that, and you're definitely right. Hey, Rita. Hey, Sarah Louise.
Hi, Sarah. Yeah, I think I'll kick off. Like I do, I'll kick off. It's personal to me simply because I was quite young. I was roughly your age, Lewis, when I started my journey down the mental health path. I was quite fit, doing landscaping, and I suffered a mental and physical breakdown, both. It was horrendous. I first started showing signs of exhaustion, which at the time I knew nothing about mental health, nothing at all. I was as fit as a lark, happy-go-lucky lad, doing the biz. And from nowhere, I started with anxiety and panic attacks, and I didn't know what the hell they were. I thought I were having an heart attack. Couldn't get on buses. That was my first experience. Because if I got on a bus, I felt enclosed and panicked. So I had to get off at next stop and walk rest of the way. And I was trying to keep a job. I just met a girlfriend, and She was quite young, and my dad said, well, you've made your bed, lie in it, and her parents kicked her out, and I've got to find somewhere to live. This all happened at Christmas. The place I found was supposed to be furnished. It wasn't, because his son had come and taken out furniture. He said there were loads of call place and it had been robbed. So Christmas Day, I'm sat on orange boxes, having a panic attack, eating Ritz crackers and drinking coffee for my Christmas dinner. From that downward spiral, I lost 2 stone in 2 weeks. Ended up just bedridden, basically, and the local doctor, which I weren't even on their panel, but me partner at the time, very young, went round to doctors and fetched him round, and he looked after me, and he told me a lot of things that made sense, because I was trying to make sense. I tried to go to court place, for example.
See this man, sorry to interrupt.
I'm talking.
See this man, I'm going to kick his ass. I tell him no to come on and he comes on.
What's up,
Aye,
guys?
Mr. Malay, I'm going to poke you in the... Show him that stick. You told me. Stick him in the eye, mate.
So
Anyway.
far, we're in the clear as of right now, so everything's fine for now, that is.
So, sorry, Bri, carry on, darling.
I'm going to do now. Thank you very much.
All right. Very new. Put the gaffer in the tap seat tonight. Area.
Anyway, this doctor tried to sort me out, and he helped to some extent. Put me on loads of tablets, and I was rattling. I was still totally exhausted, couldn't get out of bed, which I couldn't understand. As I said, I tried to go to this call place to get some call out, and it was just like there were a glass sheet into it, and I bounced off it. It was weird as, and I had the biggest panic attack you could ever think of, because I couldn't understand why I couldn't go through this door. From that moment on, I became agoraphobic. That's the term, loose term, because that's the only thing I knew, is being out, loving life in outdoors, and I couldn't do it. And from that moment, I spent 19 years as an agoraphobic, struggling. My home was my castle, basically. It was horrendous. So the 19 years struggling, trying to understand what phobias were. And basically, a phobia, it isn't a fear of what you think it's a fear of. Like, says spiders, for example. You're not scared of spiders. You're scared of what the spider can do. It's a fear of a fear. Like, I love being outdoors. I always did. I always have. But I couldn't go out. So it was a fear of what would happen if I went out. It wasn't a fear of the outdoors. It was a fear of what would happen. It's an awkward thing, and it's a selfish complaint, and it plays havoc on your mental health. 19 years. Luckily, I've conquered it and come through the other side. But it's taken a lot. It's taken a lot. And it made me a selfish person. Other people have to suffer what you have to suffer, and it's not right, but you don't see it at the time. It's not nice.
Can I ask, Brian, right? If somebody was suffering for the same as yourself, right, what advice would you give them how to start to come out that other side?
Don't take routines. Take your own routine. Everybody has their own limits and their own pace, shall we say. Their own metabolism. So you need to do things at your pace, day to day, because every day is different. You can go downhill as well as uphill. Evening, Daz. So yeah, take your time. Do whatever it takes. That's my advice.
I mean, just to fill Nick in what I was saying about men's mental health, as much as I'm promoting mental health tonight, men's mental health is so important. I mean, because men are so So some men can be really, really deep. Like you throw a penny in the ocean and you never got to find it again. Deep.
Right.
And what I want this show to promote tonight is that it's okay not to be okay. And let's break that stigma. Let's break this cycle of mental health taboo. Like it's not really. It's no. And I found that, like when you were talking about trains and buses, guys, I found I could go on the train, not a problem. I would have no problem going on the train.
Yeah.
But see now, with COVID, I think I was that used to having the carriage to myself. Not to myself, there would be maybe the range of 4 people, right, with me. And I would definitely find I loved that. But see when everything started to come back to normal and everybody was starting to use the trains again, I found that like I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted out. I still feel like that with the train, and I found it dead weird. But that's since COVID. That's begun with me. But now I would rather bump it everywhere.
That's another one, that, Lewis, because weirdly enough, through pandemic, I was working in a train station. I work in Leeds train station.
So am I, Eric.
And I kept having to ask for locations that were on peripheral at station. So I got the furthest entrance type of thing, or I got a flyover. Yep. I were on a flyover in middle at station, but it was a secure tunnel above station, above lifts basically. I were on the lift because I were still having panic attacks. Even then, I've suffered panic attacks. Even now, I have the odd occasional panic attack, but I've trained myself to cope through it and breathe through it and not let people actually see that I'm suffering it. Whereas before, I'm a total wreck. There's no way I would allow myself to be near anybody else when I were having a panic attack. Now, I can be suffering one and talking to you. You wouldn't know. That's how much I've trained myself to cope with.
What about you, Nicky? Have you ever had it? Obviously, I don't want to insult MD because maybe somebody's not been through mental health. That's how I asked first and no put down.
No, I haven't been through mental health, but what Annette said about you building up walls, that's what men do in general. And that's why, men as a whole, we're supposed to be the strong ones. So when we deal with something and we're trying to keep everybody else strong, we put a wall up to stop us from being affected by it, which is another issue that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, you see, I couldn't. I got to that point where there weren't any, how can I explain it? There weren't any bricks to build the wall. I was literally exposed. So what do? It's fight or flight. And for a while, I ran and hid. But there comes a time when you've got to face things. It's either make or break. And I did. And I broke for a while. And then I started to fight and decided, well, look, I'm either going to go under or I'm going to survive. And I've survived.
So have I, Sarah Louise, and I'm certainly not ashamed to say that I've not been there. I have been there. It's the best thing, believe it or not. I used to have in my head, right? And I'm brutally honest. I used to have in my head that getting sectioned was the worst thing in the world because I would be in with people, it'd be the bouncy wallpaper, I'd be, locked in this room, and I didn't know quite what to expect. And when I went in, there was just, I hate using the word normal because normal isn't a good word to use.
Right.
But
it's not.
It wasn't. It was not as bad as what I thought. I mean, there was people in there with something so simple as PTSD, and it was the world. It was. If you can hear my man sniggering in the background, he's laughing at his TV program. I don't want him to think he's laughing. It is. And do you know what? It was amazing the amount of people that I met that basically went through the same as me. You know, my problem was I'd been fighting mental health since I was 15 years old, and I had been in and out of doctors, and they told me I had bipolar. Then they told me I didn't. They told me I was a stroppy teenager that needed to basically get a kick up the arse, which then led me into psychosis.
See, there were no labels. There were no labels when I started my journey. There were very few things diagnosed and given a name. I was just basically a nutter, and that's that. for lack of a better explanation, it's as simple as that.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Robert. Hey, Tina. What about yourself, Nick?
Well, just before I answer, I was going to get to Kelly's, so she makes
all right.
really interesting.
Me and you were hitting at the same time there. See if you see a flick of the night. Me and Nick fighting near the comment. I think if anybody is aware of things, then they can do things about it. If you don't know, then you can't do anything. Just my thoughts. Exactly, Kelly. I mean, I used to think I was a stroppy teenager until I started hearing voices and started hallucinating. And their hallucinations are the most scariest things in the world. They are. Because you don't know what's real and what's not. And I'll give you an instance, and I'm very honest and open about my mental health battle. Years ago, before I got properly diagnosed, I was dating this guy from a wee village not far from where I used to stay. And one night, me and him get into an argument when he was driving. And I just looked up, and I could have sworn the car was on my side, and I let a scream out. And the way he turned the car, it turned sideways, and he came to a dead stop. But see, when I blinked, the car was on the other side. And that is the most scariest fucking thing. And see, trying to tell somebody what you're seeing. Yeah. And it's it makes you feel like you're going crazy when you know you have seen it, but it's so hard to get the words out to explain what's actually going on.
Yeah, see, I entered that, but it's the same thing. Extreme anxiety, knowing you've got to go somewhere. I mean, particularly example, I had been diagnosed, I'd got all the problems I'd got, and I'd been told to go to the mental health unit, the local hospital, suffering with anxiety and agoraphobia. I've got to go out. And they wanted me to go to an hospital. So I sets off, panic attacks, and I'm walking past people, and this lovely little old lady, and all I wanted to do was punch her. You've got these manic thoughts in your head, and you know they're wrong, but you're having them. You're having these thoughts, and you're thinking, why am I having these thoughts? And this is on the journey to an appointment. It's not any mental health is a horrible, horrible thing because you need answers, basically. It is the problem with mental health. You want answers and you want them now, not 6 months down the line. And you're having to go to these appointments. In the end, I had another breakdown and I couldn't go out of the house. Literally, I said, look, if you're going to see me, you're going to have to come and get me because I can't do it. I just can't do it. And eventually they did. They came to see me.
It's terrible. It is terrible. What about yourself, Nick? What have you?
So it's kind of hard to say for me. I'm not really. I've never really had a diagnosis for certain types of mental health, of course, other than my autism, understandably. But see, it's a really interesting question. It's kind of a hard answer. I mean, question for me to answer. So, I mean, honestly, the closest thing I can really relate to aside from the autism is like and I think a lot of it reverberates from the autism itself, is where I have certain anxiety issues for certain things that may occur. Like I just can't stop thinking about it. There's also other times where, you know, as nice as I've always been, I've also have had kind of basically an anger problem. Not to the point where it's ever gotten violent or anything. I'm not that kind of person that will punch holes in the wall or anything like that.
I'm not violent, Nick, but you think things. That's the scary part, because you're thinking it and you think, why am I thinking it? I shouldn't be thinking even these things. You mind doing them, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not nice, is it? Not nice. That's the anxiety about it.
Yeah,
why am I thinking?
the majority of it is, and Lois, I know we've talked about it before, actually really more or less stems from parts of my childhood and even into my early adulthood with certain individuals that have had done abuse towards me, and you get those thoughts that run through your head. It's like it's not even something you just bring on yourself. It just starts when you're just basically mercifully being harassed, bullied, abused. I mean, I can tell you right now from experience, your mind can sometimes take you to some very dark places, things that you would never even think of.
Yeah, you're your own worst enemy, and that's the root of mental health. You are your own worst enemy.
Right.
You're fighting a battle in your head, and nobody else can see that battle. There's only you. So they're coming at you saying, "What the hell's wrong with you? You ain't got a clue. You haven't got a clue."
I know.
It's terrible.
And it says I've built one and I find it impossible to remove. That's the way my dad was. Never hugged me. That's
Jeez.
terrible. Hey guys. Eric, I'll give you a big cuddle when I see you. We're all too Right. That's a Scottish saying, Nick. And Ian, two bob short as well. It's basically,
that's what
to put it in layman terms, it's like you're just not right in the head. That's the only way you put it to you, Nick. Kelly says, no such thing as normal. Boring, I am who I am. And if you like me, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. I am who I am. Simple. Yeah. I'm a weirdo and I'm proud of it. Well done, Kelly. Sarah says, what I find and makes it so difficult for people who suffer from mental health issues is something I call the bad back syndrome. Years ago, if someone went to get out of something, they would say, I have a bad back, until doctors could diagnose bad backs. Now it's I'm depressed. I've experienced it from the medical assessments and I've had it for my disability benefits. It's terrible, Kelly. Sarah Louise, sorry. Kelly says, it's especially bad at the moment when in fact people are told it's all in your head. People judge too much. I don't need those people in my life. Shut the door on the way out and I hope it hits your ass on the way. That's my thing. I do totally, trust me. And it says, we tried to get help from my son, but it took a breakdown and self-harm for them to listen. Believe it or not, I'm going to answer this one for the next. They weren't going to section me. They were happy to send me home. It was my father that turned around and told them that he was just leaving me here, basically, and that if they didn't section me when they did, then he was going to take them the full road, because the mental health team, I don't know so much in England, innit, but in Scotland, they're terrible. They are absolutely terrible. Eric, but in our field for empathies, how do you know if it's you or something else? That is a good question, Eric. That is really a good question.
I mean, it is a nightmare.
The difference is you were aware of it.
Yeah.
More so now. Eric, or people that see ghosts, how you know they're not imagining it or really seeing it. That's true.
Yeah.
Kelly?
Hi, Kelly.
Kelly, I never knew you had autism.
She does. She does. Yeah.
You've been on last month,
I
Kelly.
didn't know
You've been
that.
on
That's
last month.
I've known
Yeah, I
Kelly.
know. You should.
I
Sorry.
I know Kelly Elliott. I've known her for a while, but I never knew that she had autism.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does come. In fact, that really should be a good topic. In fact, that's a good topic, Eric, for the show. I think we might cover that one when we're doing Fright-ners one night. Is obviously empaths. Because the problem is, right, this is the problem I've got. I can sense things, and I'm not always. Well, they might be hallucinations or they might be real. We just don't know, boys. Right? But the thing about it is, and it's the same as what I'm learning also now, is that people with my diagnosis have always been misdiagnosed because it could be autism. It's closely connected with autism.
I think I mentioned that on an autism show last time that there's so many. There's bipolar, but there's also Asperger's. They're all closely related. They're on the same spectrum, so it's quite difficult sometimes. What she said.
I have a learning disability and dyslexia, so have I, and autism, and my disability are hidden, and people could be quite nasty. Autism needs to be spoken about more. Yep. We did a show on that just at the end of February.
February.
In fact, I'll tell you how I know it's February, because on the 17th of February we did it. On the 24th, we threw you a big birthday bash. That's how I'll always remember it. That's how I'm a smart ass. Believe me, I can't even remember what I did fucking 5 minutes ago, never mind what I did last week. He's actually gone like that. But yeah, it is amazing, like, how lately, like, close these things are. But I use my sense of humour, like I do. Like, people say to me, obviously I'm very open about my diagnosis and I tell everybody. And it's not because I want people to feel sorry for me. It's because I actually find it funny. And they'll say to me, I think
the climate is at the moment, it's actually, for once, it's a good story. We can, because there's no taboos anymore for anything, really. You can talk about anything, and that's a good thing. It needs shows like this to be able to highlight it, and hopefully that's what we're going to do in future. we will be highlighting. Can I just say, for anybody that's listening, my page is open for anybody that needs to natter at any time. I did it over Christmas. Anybody that needs to natter, anybody that's got a problem and they're literally feeling suicidal, reach out. There is always somebody to listen. Definitely. I will listen.
I just wanted to. No, that's fine. I just wanted to go to Kelly. So I'm gonna have to start saying their last names because now we got two Kellys in the chats. Kelly Elliott said it's very hard diagnosed with autism. She went to the doctor and didn't have a clue. So out there, Kelly, I know exactly how you feel because growing up it was even difficult with autism, and even though things have gotten better for me, over the last couple of years, there are a lot of struggles I still deal with to this day. I mean, I've been dealing. I first started having these difficulties when I was about 4 or 5, and here I am still to this day dealing with those issues 25 years later.
Yeah.
I agree with him passing hearing voices. I get told things before they happen. I see things and I help many people. I don't know why, but hey, it's all good. Either me or not, I still give my message out. I look at some weird, but I don't care what others think about it. Best way to be, Kelly.
That borders on what we were talking about, Nick, on another show about people being in mental institutions, that there is nothing really wrong with them. They are possessed. Maybe empaths can be possessed more than other people. I'd never thought about that until now. Maybe an empath can be actually possessed. Don't know what you reckon about that one, Ian.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back far enough, people going into asylums, they could have been mediums, empaths, sensitives. You know, they're being put in there because they can hear voices. Well, you know, they were hearing voices. It's not just in their imagination.
Exactly.
And I actually agree with Kelly. Talking about empaths and hearing voices, and also having autism. With our private cases, we've had a lot of cases where the kids who are autistic are the target of what's in the house.
Right.
Because, like a medium, their brain is wired slightly different, so they're sensitive to such things.
Exactly.
So there is a definite link between the paranormal and being on the autistic spectrum.
And
I'm laughing at Kelly.
This is not the first time that I've had conversations where autism may have some type of connection to the paranormal. So it's very likely indeed. And I think Kelly was trying to actually ask, have I got it? Yes, I do, Kelly. I do have. I'm on the autism spectrum.
And I still wouldn't change either of these for $1 million.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm laughing at this.
Is that our brand?
Yeah.
I'm laughing at Eric still. A face to an angel, mouth to a sailor. I object to that, Your Honour.
I would say a sailor's pretty tame, to be honest.
Oh! Mrs. Varro, if you're watching this, please punch his cunt in. Kelly says, very sensitive, and my house is very active as well, with a ghost that's in there, lol. I've seen you talk a few times to Dan. Here's a thing, right, that I don't get, right, is that the mental health services, I think I've always been under this. Now, I've had many fights with them, but I think, really, the problem is with some of these people, as much as they're qualified and fair play to them, I find it better working with somebody that's actually been through it, rather than somebody that's just qualified.
Right. I'm glad you said that, Lewis. Really glad you said that, because I think, unfortunately, the mental health profession is still a little bit archaic. They are what's the word?
Especially when it comes to diagnosing.
Yeah, the learned people, they're still classed as learned people. They've gone down the old-fashioned route. They are not in the loop of everyday people. So
No.
I would say psychologists are modern-day psychiatrists, if that makes sense, because they've come through the route of living with a disability, with a mental health problem. They've learned that route rather than the academic side. You know, what wires are triggered in the brain, what says you're a potato or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They know the everyday living side of it rather than the diagnosis side of it, like Ian says. Yeah, that's a good point, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I get it. I do get it. I mean, sometimes it is better talking to these people that have actually been through it, that can actually say, well, you know what, this is what, it might not work for you, but this is what worked for me. And I'll tell you what I've really got into, right, that I find really does help, is I tend to listen to music sometimes, and when I used to do Barry John's class, because I used to do development classes with Barry John, and some of the music he used to play to us to meditate And I used to
Yeah.
go back to him and say, what's that piece that you just played? Because I want to listen to it. Because it's actually really, really good. And one of the ones that stand out to me, and this is just for MJ that meditates or listens to music or anything like that, but Lisa Gerrard's Sacrifice is a really, really good piece to listen to. Because I can find myself totally zoning.
Which comes to another diagnosis. Here we go, right? It's far out, but there you go. Women have a different frequency to men. So, and it all makes sense. If you think about it logically, it actually makes sense. Women listen to different music to what men listen to, and it tends to be on a slightly different frequency or audio wave, which is a frequency in it. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yep.
I've always said frequency is the key to everything in life. Everything on the planet is worked on a frequency. And if we can figure the frequency out, we can cure a lot of ails.
Definitely. I went to the docs
Yeah,
when I went as medication. I just looked at me and I didn't have the clue. There need to be more trained people like me. Definitely. Definitely.
Mm.
I've experienced both medical and mental health doctors, and I've always felt that mental health plays second fiddle to physical health. That is so true, Kelly. Fuck's sake, we've got too
Sarah.
many Kelly.
I know.
Sarah Louise, sorry. It's alright. Thank God it's no Bobby, because last week I called him Booby.
Not wrong with a good movie.
Don't even ask. It was one of the nights. But yeah, Sarah Louise, I can't agree more. But mental health is just
Yeah.
a normal school, and the kids were horrible to me later. Oh, Kelly, that's no nice, darling. To hear that's happened to you.
Went through that too. Although it wasn't kids, though, it was staff members. And that's even worse than being picked on by other kids.
No. I've rebelled. I've done all sorts. I've been there. I've done most things, but yeah, that frequency. That's all I can say. Is frequency is the key.
Have we covered frequency before on Fright-ners?
No, not per se. We have not. No, we've not gone into frequency per se. We've touched on it in most things that we've done. It's always come into it, but we've not actually done frequency.
Well, do you want to do that after David Dean's next week? Will be the week after.
Why not?
Could do frequencies. See, I love when a plan comes into place. Where are we at?
It says.
Oh, sorry. Next reading one, I'm reading the other. Sorry.
No, Kelly Drews makes a good point here. What she says.
They say it's hereditary. I disagree with this, but they also say men have it more like competition. A lot of people don't. Do you know what this comes down to, Kelly? And yous are going to call me geeky, right? But blame my counselling course. But it basically comes down to penis envy and vagina envy. No, Nick, it's a real thing.
I'm sorry.
Believe it or not.
I'm sorry. I know.
Believe it or not, it's a real thing.
It was just so random. It was just so random to hear that. I feel bad for laughing.
Don't feel bad. It's fine. I like you laughing.
We've just gone from PG to X-rated. Well done.
No, actually, even better, even worse than that. We just became rated G for Gorilla Glue.
And by the way, Nick's going to do an experiment, folks. The experiment is he's going to glue his clothes on just to see if he can get them off again.
Hey, you know what? As I always keep saying, it didn't say on the disclaimer I couldn't use it that way, so I could sue the hell out of him.
Thank God for this. Something going to glue his penis.
Oh, don't even get him started.
Oh my God, you go Gorilla Glue, you stick your hand to it, you're never going to let go of it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow. Woo! This show, you know.
No, and that makes a good point here.
Yeah, exactly. And the frequency, it all comes down to frequency. And like I've said, I think that I really do feel that women have a different frequency to men. That's why we just don't meet in middle, you know.
That's good to know, Kelly. That is really good to know. I've got down those. It's horrible. Love penis.
Whoa,
I thought that said that.
No wrong with that, darling. Where'd you live?
You just brought us in the gutter, Lois. You know that.
She wants to love penis.
No comments.
See if we're not on next week. We've been banned.
I've just looked. She just said she's dyslexic. She doesn't mean penis, she means peanut.
Oh, hey guys. Just got a notification already on this. This is actually on the serious side. Just issued a tornado watch for our area until it just literally went into effect. It's going to be for the next 7 hours, I think, till what time did they say? Okay, at least till about 8:30 or 9:30 p.m. So now we're under a tornado watch.
Nick, please go and stay safe.
I mean, I don't need to take cover now. It's just a watch. So, just wanted to point that out.
See if your fucking house blows away while you're on this live.
Oh
I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah, if we sit outside, it changes the scenery.
The big bad wolf's not sat outside just yet.
I'm sitting here with my head in my mouth because I'm thinking, Nick's sitting there reading a tornado warning. Oh, okay, it's all right. It's not for another 7 hours. I've got plenty of time. Don't you worry about it, Lois. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm chained to the floor. I'm all right.
Eric, just remember, don't put
We don't have to worry, do we? We're in basement.
Yeah.
don't put the glue in your hair. It's already happened twice to 2 people already.
At the moment, Nick, you want to put the glue on your feet.
Yeah,
oh my God, put it on my feet. If I do that, then I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, I've lost the conversation. Whose comment did we get to? My man has dyslexia, and it definitely runs in the family. I've looked on my family tree, and there was somebody with a disability. Like men, not gay. Sorry, all these women that are like, wow. Robert says that's not where I thought this was going. You don't want to know where this was going.
Oh, you don't.
Just remember, don't put glue in your hair. I don't have penis or vagina or envy. I don't care for either. I wish I hadn't said the fucking part.
Wow.
No, that's lying. And that's lying. That's not true. That's just not true at all.
What do you think of the 5G towers? I think they will affect so many people.
It already does, and it has done down the years. Through the war, Second World War, they experimented with that.
Kelly.
Used high-powered towers to transmit across certain areas, and it had a horrible effect. It caused nightmares and hallucinations, and it still happens. I believe, actually, there's you had a program, Nick, that you touched on, the forest in Japan.
I don't know how to pronounce the forest, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I didn't do a show on it yet, but I know I have talked about
it. That's what I'm saying. You touched on it, and I believe that that has a particular frequency that it emits that causes these feelings. There's a place in Sweden that does the same. They all seem to be locations that's heavily wooded. That's a thesis that I'm working on at the moment. A lot of these places that are suicidal places, and they coincide. Now, get this, with insects. There's a particular insect called a cicada, and certain types of cicadas, they whistle or hum or make a noise most nights, and it absolutely drives humans nutty. And again,
we actually like the noise it makes. The
well, yeah,
cicadas.
but that's the species that you're akin to. There's different species, and they all emit this different frequency, as in fireflies. Again, Nick, you'll be familiar with fireflies. There's loads of species, and they can mingle actually, but they only pick up one particular frequency from their own species, and they can be flying all at night, and then be maybe 7 species flying at night, but they'll only alight. The male will only alight on its own species due to the frequency that it's giving off.
Right.
But to foreign species such as humans or even other animals like antelope or whatever, if they drop on this frequency, it sends them batty. It actually, in fact, we've got a species called a hedgehog. And when it comes across a particular species of ant, it goes into a frenzy, and it develops a saliva that it wants to chuck all over its body. And again, it's because they found that this particular species of ant, when it's threatened, it gives off a frequency, a noise that works on a frequency, and it sends the hedgehog into a frenzy, and anoints itself with saliva. It's weird, isn't it? Weird or what? Weird or what?
What you like? Sarah Louise says, "Stay safe, Nick." Oh,
Yeah.
for the love of God, the conversation's gone south
geez,
again.
Kelly.
Yeah. I'm
Oh my
not even
God.
saying a word to
Tornado.
Tornado.
Where's
He's
this
fine.
Kelly Lynn? She sounds very, very nice, you know.
Australia. He's fine. I never go into the basement when there's a tornado. It might take me to Oz.
Yeah. Take your red shoes with you.
And hey, don't forget, you gotta follow that yellow brick road.
We should definitely do a show. Kelly Elliott wants to, we'll cover autism again, Kelly, at some point.
We will.
We have came every 7 years. We have those here.
I didn't know that they come out every 7 years. I mean, I know over here in the U.S. we have our seasonal cicadas, but there's also another group, and it depends where you live in the United States. It's all different groups. Like where I live, we have the 17-year cicadas. Those come out obviously every 17 years. In fact, next year is when they're supposed to be coming out. But in other parts of the country, you also have ones that are every 13 years. And I'll tell you right now, when you have both the seasonal and the 17-year ones out in the height of summer, and
some states you can have it. Yeah,
it's like you're like at a concert. It is loud, so loud.
Do you know the way you are talking about that? You kind of make me think of the guy for Jeepers Creepers. Comes out every 23.
Oh my
God. The creeper.
Yeah,
the creeper from Jeepers Creepers.
Louis, that is so weird because I've had a friend request of somebody called Jeep Creepers today.
Oh wow! Check that out.
Yeah.
No.
Makes his comeback, isn't it?
Yeah. No fucking wonder, Bri. They'll be coming for you.
Yeah, don't play that song, or if you hear that song, run.
Yeah,
Do you-
run like hell.
Do you know I absolutely love that song?
Yeah. What's
I
the
have that
It's
song
on my
in my
music playlist.
I do have that song in my Halloween musical list.
See,
believe it or
see,
not.
that's my boy. Good piece of music.
Just wanted to
You
read
also-
Kelly Drew's.
That's correct, Kelly. That is correct. Absolutely correct. I mean, there's loads of insects. Insects are fascinating. Here, you just mentioned cicadas.
Rick.
We have dragonflies, and we have types of different species of dragonflies and damselflies that go from anything from 2 years to 7 year cycles. So they spend most of their life underwater, and they have a brief summer where they emerge to mate and start that cycle again. Parasites are the things that have the longest cycles. They can go for 20, so far, I don't know, but 22 years is what I've seen. 22-year cycle. So that parasite is living in your body for 21 years before it has to
Wow.
leave and start that cycle again. It's unreal. Nature is fantastic. But saying that, bringing it back full circle, who knows how many of these organisms can cause mental health?
You make a good point there.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. I never thought of it like that, actually.
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, like I said, he's got a point there.
Because Nick keeps disappearing. I'm fearing in case that's him getting soaked away up.
It's the
Yeah.
great
I'm
scene,
like-
that's why.
I'm like,
I'm
Nick!
going to disappear for a second because I need the little boys' room because I've had a beer and because it's Friday.
Let's all flag Bri. No problem. Just you get off that chair. Don't push that chair.
Yeah, don't take your phone with you.
Oh no! Aye, please don't.
Yeah, don't.
But definitely, I mean, there is a lot of, for people obviously that live in the UK, I don't know so much about America, but in the UK there's a free text service called Shout. It's a really good one. It's open 24/7. I've always got the number in my phone to always text when I'm not feeling that great. Don't forget to shake and wash those hands. Oh wow, Kelly, that's it. I'm gonna set you and Bri up on a date.
Wow. Okay then.
Yeah,
She's
it's going to
going
be
a
a
different
blind one.
direction.
He doesn't know about it yet.
let's see what frequency these two are on.
Hey, look at Coke and Pepsi as well.
Shake it too many times.
Eric,
You're just
I'm not
playing
even,
with it. Oh my god.
Eric, I'm not even gonna approach that comment. No comments.
Do you know what? This is why I love doing these shows, because you start off in an even keel like this, and then it goes fucking down like that.
Yeah, it's usually a comment you make, and then it goes downhill.
Yep.
As Eric says, I've got a face of an angel, but a mouth like a sailor.
Hope we get
Kelly
fucked.
said, hope you can. Oh my fucking lord. The conversation's gone. Wait.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this, and it's more on Kelly Drew's part. She is definitely going down the rabbit hole.
You bet. Bri, you bob your leg before you know it, son.
I'm back. What's happening?
You
You don't
know.
want to know.
That's-
I tell you, watch the show back tomorrow.
I hope
What are you
after these comments,
My ears are burning. What are you saying?
Oh my God, Kelly.
I have such a clean mind. It's all your fault. I blame Fright-ners. Listen, guys, I know we said we talked mental health tonight, but I'm glad that, see if yous are yous have been feeling shit all day and you come on a Friday night, you'll always get guaranteed you'll laugh with. And I'll say it again, remember, ghosts don't have pants. That's that David Omen. I don't want... But do you know what, guys? I hope tonight this has definitely cheered you up, especially if you are having a bad day.
Yeah,
I
and
was
like I
earlier
said,
today.
if you need a natter, if you need to talk about any mental health problems or issues, reach out. Reach out to Simply Spooky or reach out to Greeting Spirits. I'll always have a natter if you've got a problem.
And Kelly
And
said,
if you're Kelly, then you're on to a winner.
Kelly Drews said this just to make sure so we don't get Kelly Drews and Elliot mixed up.
Oh, well, that's true. Sarah Louise says, if the conversation is this blue, what's it going to be like past the watershed? You don't want to fucking know, Sarah Louise. Some questions are left best unanswered.
Who cares? It's Friday night, we're in a beer. Cheers, girls.
I'll be taking that bloody beer off you the next time.
Oh, shit, Ian, what have I said?
Oh my God, Kelly.
I had an X-ray done that looks like a... Rita says we always cheer her up. That's what I love to hear.
Yeah,
Kel, I'm
exactly.
not gonna lie. Up until now, I have never seen Kelly talk like this before.
By the way, I actually thought the way that I first glanced at it, I thought she says I had sexy done, and I was like, what? That's how I started glancing down and my eyes widened until I read it properly, and I was like, that's what you said.
I'm just
Oh.
gonna say this. I am seriously glad we got someone like Kelly watch these shows. Not only just showing her support and also showing her serious side, but at the same time also showing her funny side too. I'm so glad that she's discovered us.
And do you know why? Do you know why? It's because, and I have watched quite a few shows, and I have recently, not in past, but recently joined in with a lot of shows and blogs. But I believe that our show is the one that interacts the most with its audience, which is what it's all about.
You too, Kelly.
That's what it's all about.
You too.
No, do you know what, guys? I'm going to call Kelly D, KD, and just Kelly,
KD,
so we know the difference.
No, that reminds me of
confusion.
KD Lang.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Brian.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wait, what was it?
KD Lang. That's what.
Yeah.
KD Lang.
Kelly's rule. Apparently
Kelly's
so, my
rule.
love. Apparently so. But yeah, I mean, that's what I love about this show. We do interact, and the whole point of why Fright-ners was set up was to interact with the viewers, because it is about making them feel included. And if that's one of the things that Simply Spooky Network does, is definitely does interact with your viewers. And I think that every show should be like that, because at the end of the day, you call me Ned. No one has called me this other than my mum, so it's a big thing for me to say this.
I would never call you Ned, darling, sweetheart, lovey.
No, not at all.
Oh my! You guys two get a fucking room. I'm starting to feel like a gooseberry here.
Watch the show back tomorrow.
That's it, Ian. Says Lewis. We ought to call her Nick, didn't we, really?
Bri, this is a movie thing called Kelly's Heroes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Great, great film.
Fritz.
So, more or less, right? What's happening here is, right, is Bri's got a date, right? That's fine, fair enough.
He doesn't know about it.
Ian's married, so that's off limits. Well, Nicky boy, me and you, you'll just have to play. You just have to come along with me.
That weren't nailed on, was it, Ian?
Oh, those burning bridges.
But do you know what, guys? I'm so happy to be at this show because I wouldn't want it anywhere else. Thought it would be easier for you. Then Kelly coming out shooting blanks but hitting by.
Oh my god.
I really knew I need a drink for this. 2 seconds.
Why do you think I start every 5 by saying, "Oh, it's a good night tonight"?
Well, I'm choking to death here. But I just want to say thanks.
Life.
Well. But I just want to say thanks to everybody, all the viewers. But please, as I say, always. Hi guys, sorry I'm late. Been playing Scrabble. Go back to playing Scrabble, Christine love.
Yeah, you're a bit late, love, darling, sweetheart.
You know, I just want to say just one final thing. This is for Kelly Elliott. She's loving tonight. I gotta admit, this is the most I've ever seen her watch, because usually she's only on for like a few minutes, but this is the first time I've really seen her on the majority of the show. So yeah, she's loving tonight.
She's loving it.
I'll tell you what, Christine, I'll stay on for an extra 10 minutes for your good self. So
Yeah.
I'll stop on all night, but I might get a bit, slurry.
Are you drinking Coke? Aye.
So
No.
There's a national shortage of iron brew in Scotland or something.
Wait a minute. There you go. Can you see it? Wait a minute. There you go.
I absolutely no, but I absolutely love cherry Coke. In Pepsi.
It's a ruby red ale.
Aye, it's close enough. How day? Somebody's got to send me some of that brew soda. Of course, Eric. But as I was saying, guys, if you ever need to reach out, definitely my inbox is always open.
Yes, we know, darling.
The brews know the same. I totally agree with you. I always drink. See, the good ones stick together. Taylor Louise.
I drink something similar. I drink something similar like that, and that's Dr. Pepper Cherry. I like drinking that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick, send me over some, and I'll send you some brew. Kelly says, please look up the ingredient. You will stop. Kelly, no,
that's
I don't
not
even
true, Kelly, actually. That's not true. It used to actually contain Coke when it was first formulated.
No, that's the crime show, Christine.
It doesn't even no more.
No, Kelly, Christine, Kelly, fuck, I've got Kelly in the brain. Right, Christine, no, the crime show is 9 o'clock, honey, and 8 o'clock Fright-ners. Don't worry about it, it's all good, it's still there for you to rewatch.
Go away, come back.
Please, we look up Coke. They took good stuff out of the brew. Heroin. I never knew there was heroin in that brew, is it?
Yeah. Well, it used
Glasgow, yeah.
It used to contain it.
Right, brew, I've never ever tried that. Just call me the Ghost Magnet.
Really, the Ghost Magnet is her nickname. Mountain Dew is good, but man, it's really unhealthy though. It's literally full of sugar.
Sorry, I'm changing subject, but what's the worst so-called drink that's supposed to support health and it doesn't?
I think it could, in my opinion, I think it's Gatorade, because they always have like those workout commercials where they drink Gatorade almost like to help you get in shape, but it's like completely the opposite.
It's like our Red Bull, Louis.
Yeah, it's like a energy drink type.
Yeah,
it's not soda or pop. Yeah. It's like an energy drink. They got like it has like different flavors too. Like you got like red, blue, green, purple. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it is good. It is good to drink, but it's not healthy though. It's completely the opposite of what you see. You gain more. In other words, you gain more weight than losing weight.
Yeah, I'll take it back, Louis. It's Monster here. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Monster,
do you know? I almost had a vision of Ian like advertising the can doing his exercises.
I'm not giving the game away because I'm in the same dungeon as Ian, so I'm not telling you what he uses.
Ian, just wear a mankini the next time as your outfit for the exercising.
Give up, he's turning me on.
Not a chance.
just remember, put it on the right way.
There's about as much chance as you turning up on the show with your brain in.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I'll save myself for when I see him.
Louis, could you do a Bo Derek on the beach with the braids?
I do not know why you know what's going on in your head, mister. Kelly says, "Oh my God, I've been drinking Monster." Might explain a lot.
Yeah, she's talking about Monster Energy drink.
Yeah,
we got those here too. I used to drink them, but again, we came to that realization they're not as healthy as they are. So I have not been drinking them since. In fact, I hate to break this for
Gatorade preceded Monster. I think Gatorade in America what preceded that, but they're all terrible shit. Absolutely terrible.
Well,
they are really, really bad for your heart because
there was I actually been told recently as far as Monster Energy drink, I'm told it's quite dangerous to actually drink that many cans, because I know somebody who drank. There was actually one case where there was this was a number of years ago, but it was a 17-year-old kid had drank like several cans of that Monster Energy drink, and that literally messed up his heart, and tragically he died as a result. So that's what I'm saying. I've been told it's quite dangerous to actually drink that many cans.
There's been quite a few deaths in the future. But
I mean, it's
my
like
grandmother used to drink 6 cans of Red Bull a day, and the doctors say that led to renal failure. That's what she died of.
Exactly.
It's bad for your heart.
They're not going to tell you that because obviously they want to sell cans. So it's push, as usual.
See, it's like I mean, it's bad for your heart. I mean, at the same time, though, it's not a problem if you're having just like 1 or 2 of them. But if you drink more than like 2 or like 3 of them or so, that's where it can get pretty legal for you when you drink that. You're not supposed to drink 20 cans at a day. Hell yeah, you're not supposed to.
And
that's like a death sentence for you.
If it doesn't affect your physical health, bringing it back into context, what is it doing for your mental health? Because you're not sleeping. And that's the reason why a lot of students drink it, because they don't want to sleep. They want to party. They want to keep on going. What's it doing to their mental health? Not being able to sleep and not being able to relax, because that's why they're taking it initially, to be able to relax and to be able to party. But what's the word? Extra sensory perception. It's tipping them over the edge. They can't sleep. So it can't be good for mental health either.
Right.
No, definitely not.
No, not at all.
That's why just to remind you guys, that next week, Fright-ners is not on the Friday, it's on the Saturday and it's Sunday morning. We're having David Deans from Unseen Realm. If just in the off chance, in case you need to cancel, if it doesn't go ahead on the Saturday, then we'll definitely do it on the Friday. But I will keep you guys up to date with what's happening.
Guys, I'll be back in just a second. I'll be right back. I'll be back just like a minute.
Doing his Houdini.
You better come back here.
I will. I'll be back
again.
Louis, chill out. I've just been telling him to bugger off, and now they're telling him to come back. Make their mind up.
Listen, I love to keep that man's toes firmly on the ground.
Yeah, we know where you'd like to keep his toes.
And this is what I get every Friday night, folks.
Yeah.
Should be.
You get
But
karma.
definitely.
You get.
See this? I know
You
when
know
I'm
we're going to get beans and rice for next 3 weeks, innit, Ian?
No.
Beans and rice for next 3 weeks.
No, he'll be getting fucking porridge and a bit of bread.
Oofed.
So
Decent porridge then.
that goes every week. But no, definitely. What's everybody's plans for the weekend? What he's up to?
I am hoping to be able to get out and get some new footage for my group. I don't know where to go. I need new venues. If anybody's got anywhere new that's not on my page, send me a bloody postcode and let me go, because I need new footage. I've done things to death. I was talking to a guy called Steve Baker from Lancashire. Seems a nice chap, and he's into demons, bless him. He's fixated on demons. You might like him, because he's into demons big time. And he's been going to this place for the last few weeks.
Surprise comments. It didn't.
Shut up. Listen. Shh. So I need new venues, and this Steve Baker's gonna send me some, hopefully. I think he's actually just sent me one. Oof, that was quick. He must be watching.
So
Thank you.
he must
Thank
be.
you.
Best behaviour, lads. Best behaviour.
Always. What? What's that? Wanker?
I have a funny feeling I'm going to pick up some of that slang when I go over there. Bugger off, wanker, what words? I could give you a load.
Yeah, that's just that Lewis, she's very uncommon.
We'll see. If anyone ever needs to talk, hit me up. I'm always here for anyone.
I will, darling, I will.
Oh, well seen, but I stopped on that. I must admit, I was in Ian's DMs as quick as I could get in. In fact, was it me that sent you a request, or did you send me a request? I can't remember.
What you on about?
She doesn't know.
No. Anywho.
That's true. But it's been a good show, guys, definitely. It's been a good show. It's always a good show with us, guys. Bri has a bike called Trav. Nick, if you shake it more than twice, Wait, I'm going to leave that comment up to see how long Nick clicks before he sees it. I'm going to leave that comment right there waiting for him.
Lewis, what was that previous comment? I didn't see it. I'm laughing and I didn't even see it. What was it?
Oh, you're all right, Christine. Don't worry about it. Don't say sorry. It's always there.
Yes.
Bri has a bike will travel.
Yes. I've got a
Bloody
car,
hell.
love. I've got a car. I'm not that bad.
Bloody hell, Nick's been a long time. Must be a big shit. Either that or he's get sucked up by the Dyson.
Yeah, he's having one in a tornado.
I love it.
Thank you for putting up with all my clean comments, and thank you for discussing the things we have. Interesting. You're very welcome, Kelly. Anytime. Nick, Eric's got something to ask
Hold on,
you.
I can't hear what you guys are saying yet. Hang on.
He's back, look. He's back. Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. What's up?
What did Eric write? I can't read what he wrote. What did he write, Nick?
Oh my God, Eric! Holy shit! What? I am not approaching that comment. I am not even touching that one. No comments.
Well, no, hey.
He says, Nick, if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it.
I'm not touching that one.
Bloody hell, Nick's been a long time. Must be a big shite.
No,
Is that actually a birthday?
No, my dad asked me to help him out carrying something. That's all I needed. That's why I had to get off for a minute.
Nick's like this. I don't know where to look. Eric's just put me right in the face.
That's what she said.
But thank you so much. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined in, and tune in next week, guys. I will keep you updated with what's happening over the week. But definitely, any last words, gentlemen? Anybody else want to take their shimmy?
Go on, Ian. I can see Nick going.
It's not much you can say, is there, after that?
I love you too, Eric.
I'll just reiterate.
Love
If anybody needs to chat, just get in touch. You're never alone. You're never alone. This day and age, with the internet that we've got, there is always somebody somewhere that's willing to talk. Just talk to the right people.
Yeah.
Because
Good night, Christine.
that much shite. You need to talk to the right people, and we're the right people.
Hey,
Honest.
we are.
I want to include Kelly Druce in that. Yep. See, just as I expected, I want Kelly. So I want to include Kelly on this, but I trust her dearly. But at the same time, though, especially after her comments she made for today,
Yeah.
You're making Lewis jealous.
You're very welcome, Robert. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll wait.
for Kelly.
Definitely. Right, guys, I'll go and let these guys shake their shimmy. And remember, if they're shaking it any more than twice, then they're playing with it. Yeah.
And also, actually, there is one other thing I just want to point out, too, just before we get off.
No wonder I'm wearing glasses.
Just one other thing.
Come back. He's getting flustered. But no, what I was just gonna say right before we get off here too is that I'll also keep everybody posted on the weather update, because this is now going until 10 o'clock. This is what I'll actually show just because I got on my phone. This is the current radar. Something is coming though. I don't know if it's gonna hit. It's still a few hours away, but this is what's approaching our air. I don't know if you could see that black. It's actually different colors because of the. Yep, it's heading our way. So please be safe.
What's that?
Batten down the hatches.
Yeah, it's
Get that
developed.
going.
It's already down in the central part of Illinois. It's, you know what? I better check what Dawn's whereabouts is, because she lives in
Somebody's coming. Wow, lucky people.
Oh my God. God damn it, Kelly.
So,
I'll
let
keep
me-
everybody updated on my status.
yeah, please do, Nick. Please do.
Yeah.
Do you know
yourself
what?
a hole in the garden and fill it with Gorilla Glue and jump in. You'll be all right.
Can you imagine if I actually Gorilla Glued myself somewhere when a tornado comes through and I'm still part of that piece? It's very like, Gorilla Glue saved my life. I'm going to have to sue these people again. It doesn't say on the disclaimer you couldn't use it for a tornado shelter.
Just
Can I
think of the
just say?
Just think of the contract you'd have with Gorilla Glue for advertising afterwards.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Your minds are in the gutter coming.
Sarah,
But you-
fortunately, we have a basement, so if anything does occur, I know where to go. We got a good underground basement to take cover.
Definitely. But everybody, you take care. And we'll speak to you real soon. Bye.
Everyone, guys.
Bye.